the legend that is. Sir, before we even start, I'm not even going to tell the people the real name, but a Jamaican
Yeah,
rum connoisseur
yeah,
and your mission to change the way that rum is seen and
yeah.
sipped
All
through
right.
education and build it.
Yeah,
You run the Papi Hour events, which is
yeah,
Mix and Mingle Rum Nights,
yep,
a rum club. You've been
yeah.
featured in the Jamaica Eats magazine.
All right.
You've collaborated with cultural events like
Yeah,
Domino Club and such.
yeah,
Hosted Tasting of the Greats at
yeah.
the Real Jerk. And you are celebrating rum
Yeah,
heritage with Caribbean people.
yeah,
The
man.
world sits at the intersection of the Black Caribbean identity, community, and culture within Toronto, Canada. Have I missed out anything?
No, you hit it pretty well, you know. You look like you did your research, so that is good. But yeah, I just add, only thing I'd add is, I have an extensive background in the industry. Before I started doing this rum connoisseur thing, I used to work for a couple big rum companies. So, understand both the business side of things and also this side that I'm doing, which is the community building side and the tastings and all of that type of stuff. So, yeah.
Excellent. So it's not just about ABVs and this and that. It's
Exactly. The
pure
wider,
that.
yeah, the wider scope.
And that's why we exist as well. As Rum and Base, we exist to kind of bring the community together
Mm,
and show people it's we obviously we're at carnival, we all around the world,
yeah.
but to show people it's not just the dancing and whining and this and that. There's such a deeper, richer culture within what we are
Mm,
and who we are as a people,
yeah.
and we're trying to express that not only to ourselves, because sometimes with the youngers it's kind of easy to not know the full and entire roots, but
Mm,
to show that to both our people, our youngers and the elders, and also the greater, wider community.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's, it sounds like there's a lot of kind of crossover and mixing of what we're trying to do. And that's the thing when you're living in the diaspora as well.
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
important to make sure that you maintain that, in my opinion, you
Yeah.
maintain that connection with back home.
Yeah, no, no,
Right.
fully agree.
Excellent. So we're going to start. I'm going to ask you a few questions and so on and so forth. What made you want to start Overproof Papi? Was there a moment where you felt rum wasn't getting the respect that it deserved?
Yeah. Oh, well, very good question. You know what? So, as I told you, I worked in the industry for a little while, right? And how the industry works, I'll just talk very quickly about the spirits industry. How
No,
that
man,
works is
bro, you have time, man.
okay, okay, okay.
You are the
So this
expert, brother.
so what I've noticed is the spirits industry is very cyclical, right? So, and what I mean by that, some categories are booming and popping, and then sometimes it's not, right? So for a while back, vodka was the thing. Everybody had drink vodka, right? Then it switched. There was a brief moment where gin did around the place.
Mm.
Everybody that beat gin. Now tequila having its moment, right? So rum hasn't had its moment in quite some time. So what you find because of that is, the companies that own these brands, because they own a lot of other brands, it makes sense that they're investing more in what is selling more or
Yeah.
what is hot, right? So rum tends to fall off a little bit from that standpoint. The second point, so that is the business side. From the consumption side, what I find that is happening with rum and what kind of pushed me to doing this as well is that a lot of people, when they think of rum, they think of a rum and coke, right?
Mm.
They're drinking it with rum and coke, and it's not something that you would sip like a scotch or a cognac or anything like that, right? And they also think of rum to be this very sweet, sugary thing that is terrible, right? And they're only thinking of a very small group of brands when they think of that, right? They're thinking of the spice rums and the rums that are made for commercial consumption and have been very commercially successful, but there's a lot of producers out there from a lot of different countries making really good rum, and nobody knows about it, and nobody really gives. I feel like rum doesn't get the respect that it deserves. So I am on a little mission for try to do my part to get rum both the respect it deserves from the drinking side of things and from the business side of things.
Excellent. So
Mhm.
when you said every spirit
Yeah,
had its moment, and I
yeah,
agree with you. I remember about what 5 years ago, gin was gonna be the thing. Everybody
yeah,
was gin,
yeah,
gin, gin,
yeah,
gin, gin. And I remember feeling to myself, yo, when's rum? When we gonna get our rum? Cause rum is drunk in the Caribbean.
Yeah,
Those
yeah,
are
oh,
things,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I was like, when we gonna get our moment? And then I felt to myself, well, like in the UK, you have vodka and then you have the sweet, like you just said, the sweet kind
Yeah,
of version. You know, the we call them alcohol pops.
yeah.
You know that kind of thing. And I was thinking, does rum have to go down that line of
Mm,
sweetening up itself? And then you have the moment with the spiced rums
yeah, yeah.
where it seemed as though, okay, the spice rum was gonna come true, but I'm not really a fan of the spiced rum and
Yeah.
so on. I think most rum connoisseurs or people that love rum are not really major fans of that.
Mm.
So my question to you with that now is, when do you feel that rum will have its moment? Do you feel like
Yeah.
the moment's forwarding, or
Yeah. Well, I
are
mean,
people like me and you gotta just keep on fighting and
yeah, I mean, it's a good question, and I think the moment comes because, all right, and I always like to tell this story because if you look at what tequila is now, right, in terms of how it's out there and everybody loves tequila, there is a point where nobody was drinking tequila, bro.
true?
Nobody was. People associated tequila with this bad memory that they had in college, where them drink too much and them throw up and them never want to see tequila again. So
Hmm.
nobody was drinking tequila, right? And then what happened was, it got a little interest from like celebrities and stuff like that, and then that started bringing attention to the category, and people are like, oh wait, let's see what's going on here. Now I think tequila still has a little bit more moment to go, but I think what's happening is now is that one, consumption habits are changing and all of this. So I think for rum to have its moment, I think a couple things need to happen. I think because right now, and I don't know how it is in the UK, but in North America there is a big, particularly Canada and the US, there is a big push towards wellness,
Hmm.
right?
Same.
Same in the UK, right? So there's a big push towards wellness. There's a push towards lower ABV cocktails, non-alcoholic cocktails, non-alcoholic drinks, and building that space out. And there's also this trend that Gen Z aren't drinking as much as millennials and generations before, right? So there's all of that happening. Now, the problem with rum that it has is the conception of it. So right now, the conception of rum, as you've rightly pointed out in the UK, it's the alcohol and the spice rum that is running the place. Everybody over here, Captain Morgan is the number one seller, and nothing wrong with Captain Morgan if that is what you drink, right? But you need to understand that the category is more than just Captain Morgan, right? So if you like Captain Morgan when you drink that, that is fine. But the category is not just Captain Morgan, which is this very sweet, almost, um, yeah, a very very sweet version of rum, right? You have rums that go across everything. You have rums from the French Caribbean, which is like a rum agricole type of thing that gives a profile similar to tequila because of the vegetal nature of it, right? So a person that drinks tequila and loves a tequila soda, for example, would love rum agricole with soda, but nobody that information is out there and it's not top of the mind for anybody, right? Another reason why people are shying away from rum is the way in which the traditional mixes that have been pushed, right? Rum and Coke. People are moving away from Coke. People, and that's why Coke Zero them come out with that because people are being associate Coke with sugary, them don't want that, and then rum is associated with Coke, right? So that is also the tough part is, right, rum has all of these very sweet associations, and it feels like people's palates are moving away from that sweet thing. So when they think of rum, they think, oh yeah, I need to mix it with Coke, I need to mix it with all of these sugary drinks, whereas nobody's thinking about rum and coconut water. You know what I mean?
I mean, sorry to interrupt you there, bro.
Mm.
But the other day I put up a post. 'Cause I was in Trinidad for the carnival, right?
Yeah.
And we kind of linked up with some people that I say linked up, some friends from here, DJs,
Mm.
etc., etc., etc. But it was their first time in Trinidad, and so the culture of fetting was
Mm.
brand new to them.
Yeah.
So you have a cooler party, right? So everybody have bring them rum and
Yeah.
regular.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the people decide that we was rolling, we decide, oh well, them just gonna drink off everything in our cooler one time.
Mm.
Boop, 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 boop. And I said, yo, it's a long day.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
long
yeah,
day.
yeah, yeah.
And you need, in the sun hot, etc. You have to make sure so you're hydrated.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have to put coconut water in it and just, go
Mm.
and sip, etc. And I did a video on that, and a few people said, "Oh, I never even considered that." Because the first consideration is rum and coke, and if it's not rum and coke,
Exactly.
then what? So yeah,
Yeah.
man. Sorry, just
Yeah, how much rum and coke you going to drink? You know what I mean? You sit
yeah.
down on the beach, you don't fill up your belly with rum and coke. That gets sweet and thing after a while. So I think there's a lot of education that needs to be done um, in the rum space with how it can be drank, right? So rum and coconut water, that is my go-to. If I'm gonna be having a lot, rum and coconut water for sure. That it used to be tequila soda, now it's rum and coconut water. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Rum goes well with if you want like an elevated cocktail, you can make a rum old fashioned. A lot of people don't know that, right? You can do if you like margaritas, you like a daiquiri. It's in the same sour profile, and that's the other thing too. Talking about the cocktails, right? So when you think about daiquiri, right, what do you think about?
I'm not really a cocktail person, but
Yeah, yeah.
I,
This is perfect
daiquiri
because this is going to
feels
prove my
sweet,
point, I
like
think.
sweet, and see the sugar around the glass. I don't know
Sweet
if
and sugar on, and you're thinking of the slushy stuff that you get at the resort,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So that is, and these are the associations that go with rum, right? Because the daiquiri itself, it all rum needs to take a page out of tequila's book because before the margarita got mainstream and out there like the way it is now, right? When you used to think of margarita, you used to think of it in this big kitschy glass with
Hmm.
slush, right? It was very slushy.
True.
And nobody wasn't drinking margaritas like that, you know what I mean? And until they redefined what the margarita is, like the real margarita, which is, the tequila, the simple, the lime juice, and the curacao. Now it's an elevated cocktail, right? And it's the same thing with something like the daiquiri where the daiquiri is not this slushy sweet drink at all. The daiquiri is three simple ingredients. It is rum, lime juice, and simple syrup, right? And it is
Okay.
served in this beautiful coupe glass, and it looks very elevated, right? And you can do so many things with the daiquiri. You can make a pineapple daiquiri. You can make a sorrel daiquiri. You know what I mean? And you can really get into it. So there is an education piece around rum that needs to be out there because I think rum is still in the view that it is not elevated and it's not premium. Um, so there needs to be a push, and the push has to come from the people who are selling the rum, right? There's only so much people like me can do because we don't have the budgets to do these things, right? And I think another thing rum is suffering from, especially I think on our side. I think in the UK, you guys are doing a lot of like there's a lot of innovation I think coming out there with new rum brands and all of that.
Oh
But
yes.
that's
Yes.
yeah, over here it's like it has slowed down. I mean,
Mm.
you look in it, you see it's tequila. Everybody coming out with a tequila. Not many people coming out with rums, right?
Why is
Um,
that in I'm sorry to cut you again, but in North
mm,
America, why is that is so for me, right?
yeah,
Until I started to go to various rum tasting events and so on and so forth, in my
yeah,
head,
yeah,
we need sugarcane,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's where rum comes from.
yeah, yeah.
And then I started to go to some tasting events, etc., in the UK recently,
Mm,
and was tasting UK made rums
yeah,
and
yeah.
saying, oh, they can, So is it the raw materials that's needed for the rum that
No,
makes
not
it?
at all. It's definitely not the raw
It's
materials.
just
What it
needs a
is
new PR campaign to make the
needs
people
a
them.
needs a
Okay.
new PR campaign. If you hit the nail right on the head, bro, rum has bad PR.
Yeah.
That is that is really what it is. Rum has bad PR, and it needs a new PR campaign. Because right now, and if you think about it as an investor, if you don't have a passion for rum and you're going into spirits, you're going to take a look at the numbers, right? And
Yes.
you're going to say what's growing and what is hot, and you're going to put your money there. You know what I mean? So unless you are a person that has the passion for it and you want to be the person that like, no, I want to make a quality thing and I want to get it out there, it's very hard to get these quality brands out there doing and it's doing the message the right way. And a lot of the big brands as well, and this is also another thing, is that a lot of the big brands are owned by big corporations that have a bunch of other
Yes.
brands in it, right? So
Campari, exact for example.
exactly, right? So when you look at something like that, it's like, okay, they have X amount of money that they need to spend. How much of it are they going to allocate to rum when they know if they allocate it maybe to tequila, that they might get a little bit better bang for their buck, right? So I
Return on
think what
investment. That's what they're there for, right?
exactly, right, and I think at the end of the day, what it is, it's that I, somebody needs to believe that rum is next.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody needs to believe that rum is next up, and like put the resources behind it, because what's going to happen, and you see this happen with everything. Somebody wants to see somebody do it first, and then when them do it, everybody rush in
Jump on that.
afterward, right? But nobody wants to be that first person. So
Nobody wants to take the risk. Nobody wants to take the risk, sir.
nobody wants to be the first person.
I
So
mean, go ahead.
yeah, no. So I'm saying I think that is the issue. But if it's anything that you take away, that is a thing that you said, is that rum has a PR problem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel so. I feel like,
yeah,
look, I think most people have this story, but if not, I don't know.
mm,
I grew up as a kid sneaking Ray Nephew. You used to
yeah,
sit back of Ray Nephew and you sneak, you know what I mean,
mm,
and try to top it
yeah,
up
yeah,
with
yeah,
water.
yeah.
And I suppose that's where my love of rum started,
Mm,
right? Yeah, I was a little bit so it burnt me and where, but
yeah,
when
yeah, yeah,
um, and there are other people, maybe you, because you nodded, and
mm,
that have a similar story, but I feel as though when you look at the story, when I came over to the UK, or you look at the story in the UK, that people used Ray and Nephew as a, all right, this is the drink, like a tequila. This is what we're
mm,
gonna drink, a shot to get
yeah,
drunk. And even now, I say to people, Ray and Nephew is not a shot drink. It's not,
no,
in my opinion, anyways.
yeah, yeah.
Although, brother, I've seen you.
Relax, 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 relax.
Hold on.
I know. I just say it to them myself. I know so this. I know this.
I've seen you, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
But we'll talk about that later.
yeah. We gotta get into that.
It's not a shot drink. It's a drink. You know, Ray and Nephew is kind of like a base, maybe for a cocktail or something. Or for
Yeah.
me, I just drink it with the ice or coconut water and so on.
Mm,
So when we speak on the PR campaign, it definitely needs to be a. It's not just this drink that you drink, not just Ray and Nephew, but
yeah,
I've got rivers, I've got punching, I've got
yeah.
all kinds of rum. Not just the drink that you drink when you want to just finish off the night. You know, like tequila.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Finish off the night, child.
yeah,
Shots, rum.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
yeah,
a drink that can be sipped and enjoyed. I
yeah,
think more than anything, especially for the younger generation, enjoying rum is not something that they are familiar with.
yeah.
And I
No.
don't know if it's the same in North America.
Yeah, man, that's the same thing. But to your point around Ray and Nephew as well, there is also the thing that people don't realize with Ray and Nephew when they're doing shots and they're like, oh, I can't drink Ray and Nephew, it's too strong and whatever the thing is. It's like, yeah, definitely don't shoot Ray and Nephew unless you are like up, like you know what I mean? You've been tested in the fire. If you haven't been tested in the fire, do not shut Ray and Nephew. It will burn you. The second piece of it is people don't realize how ABV works, right? And I think at a level they do, but they're not really preying what's going on. Because if you're drinking Ray and Nephew is 63% alcohol, right? The average, the normal, like the everyday rum and everyday alcohol that everybody drinks sits at around 40%, right? So for every for every ounce of Ray and Nephew that you drink, you're drinking 1.5 ounces of regular liquor, right? So half more. So basically, every two Ray and Nephew is three of something else, right? So, and that add up over time. If you're drinking Ray and Nephew and you're drinking, you say, all right, I'm going to drink Ray and Nephew, I'm going to drink 4 drinks, 6 regular drinks that you're drinking, right? But people is like, oh no, I'm going to drink too much and the Ray and Nephew mash me up. It's like, no, is you weren't responsible with managing the amount of Ray and Nephew that you're drinking, right? And also, the other thing with Ray and Nephew is, Ray and Nephew is not a rum and coke drink,
No.
right? You don't drink Ray and Nephew with coke. That is not going to taste good at all, right? You have people who do it and they're insane. But for me, Ray and Nephew with coconut water, Ray and Nephew with pineapple juice, Ray and Nephew with ting, of course, that is like the
Ray and
global, yeah, Ray and ting, right? And Ray and Nephew, even with Ray and Nephew with something like even cranberry juice is good. You know what I mean? Because you want something
Ginger ale.
ginger ale. You know what? I don't really do it too much with ginger ale, but I'm not against it. You know, because you need something that has a strong flavor to counteract it. So I'm typically doing mostly coconut water and then cranberry juice as a second if I'm like in Jamaica.
Mhm.
Um, and then yeah, I'll do ting before I do ginger ale. To be honest with you.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, me generally, I will every rum that I drink, I normally drink neat with ice.
yeah,
I mean, not ice and that's Ray included.
yeah,
But I
yeah,
am a seasoned professional. People don't do this at home.
yeah, 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 yeah. Don't I? No.
So one of the things I saw, one of the posts I saw from you that really made you stand out and what
Yeah.
you're about. For me, there's a lot of educators online, right?
Mm.
But I like to see educators that have a sense of humor
Yeah.
and it's educational with the humor.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did a post and you said, I think it was coming up to Christmas, where you
Mm.
said, if such and such, if your friend likes whiskey, get them rum.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
get them rum.
Ah. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
compare the different things with the rum, and just in case people hadn't seen it, just a brief synopsis of, let's say I'm a whi- I'm a vodka, I know a whiskey
Mm.
drinker, and one more, and a gin drinker.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
would be those main comparisons? Because those are and a tequila drinker.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
are the main comparisons that you would say? So number one for a tequila drinker, what kind of rum would you say?
Yeah. So for a tequila drinker, not first thing I would say is you go look for one of those agricole rums, right? Rum agricole or rum made from sugarcane juice. So I'll do a quick thing on
Yeah, man.
the production, right? So rum is made from sugarcane, but it is made from like different components, right? So majority of the rums out there are molasses rums, right? So they're made from fermenting molasses and then distilling that. Now you have some rums out there that are made from sugarcane juice, right? So that is you'll get a lot more grassy flavors from that because for those who don't know, molasses is the byproduct that's left behind after you extract the sugar from the sugarcane juice, right? So you boil the sugarcane juice until it crystallizes, and those crystals that you get is a sugarcane, it's a sugar. You take out those crystals and then you're left with like a brown, pasty, sludge looking thing, and that's molasses, right? So that is what most rum is made out of. Now, sugarcane juice, which is the whole thing, as if you ever drink sugarcane juice before, you know how fresh and grassy and that it is. So there's rums that are made from that. Now that is the French style of doing rums, right? And there's a designation within those French style called agricole. But I'd say any sugarcane juice rum that you can find, I'd say that would be perfect for a tequila drinker because they are able to know if they're drinking tequila soda, they do that. You know what I'd even say, and this might come off controversial, Ray and Nephew. I would say, but you'd have to manage the portions, right? You can't do the same portion that you would do because because Ray and Nephew, the smell of it might get people off, but if you can go past the smell and put a ray in soda, but little less ray than you would tequila, in a thing of soda or with whatever you drink tequila with, and taste the two side by side, you're gonna realize it's not that much big of a flavor profile difference, right? So I'd say Ray and Nephew or any sugarcane juice rum for tequila,
French
right?
kind of Caribbean type
Yeah, yeah.
rum.
For
Um,
yeah.
but no, I was gonna say vodka.
Yeah, yeah. So for vodka, you want something that is clean, like a clean white rum. So this would be separate and apart from the sugarcane juice ones. So I would recommend for vodka something like a Eldorado 3 year old, or any rum from like a reputable any white rum from a reputable rum house, so like a Eldorado White or a Mount A Silver, even the Planteray 3 stars. I would say that it's a little bit sweeter because the thing with vodka is that it's supposed to have no flavor, right? So you're not gonna find a rum with no flavor, but you can find one that is not intrusive, right, and very easy to drink. And I'd say those Havana Club, that would be a perfect. The Havana Club, actually,
There's
I'd
a
say
Havana
Havana
Kia,
Club.
right?
Yeah,
The white.
Havana Club 3 year. Yeah, Havana Club 3 year. I'd say that would be a perfect one, especially if it's in a South American white rum. That is what I would recommend because those they strip out most of the the natural flavors that come with it with the distillation, right? So I'd say a South American white's like Havana Club 3 star. Whiskey, man, you can get some really good rums that are up there with whiskey. So as I'm going to go back to, any Appleton 12, 15, El Dorado 12. Now, El Dorado 12 is a little bit sweeter. So if you're not a sweet, and when I say sweet, I don't mean sugary. I mean in the flavor profile. So because that is a completely different ball game that we're talking about, right? Because you have sweet, syrupy sweet like a spice rum and these more authentic rums. But then you have rum that
I
is
like how you
honest.
slide that in.
Yeah, yeah. Right. And but you have rum that have a sweeter flavor profile, like how bourbon has a sweeter flavor profile than whiskey and than scotch, right? So for scotch, I'd go with something um what's it, Appleton 12 or Appleton 15. Worthy Park makes some really good
Yeah.
aged rums. So I'd go with any of those. So you want something that's aged for a while. I would suggest if you want something, even some of these South American rums as well, like Florida Canna 12, you'll get a lot less. It's not as intrusive as some of these other rums. So if you like a smoother scotch where it's just
Mm.
you just get in something, then I'd say that. But yeah, Scotch is the easiest one to compare it to because you just want a rum that is made from a reputable house that don't have a lot of additives in it, and that's very easy to find. You go to Jamaica, you go to Barbados, those for sure don't have any additives, and then you look around at some of the credible spots, and you'd get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then for the gin drinker, the final one.
Yeah, for the gin drinkers, no. I would say for the gin drinkers, I'd probably go agricole as well.
Mm.
Because yeah, that has like a little bit more. Gin is a hard one to replicate if you're looking for the flavor profile because of like the juniper and the this and the that and the that, right? It's very gin punches you in the face kind of thing. So I'd go with the agricoles for the gin as well. I'm just thinking, yeah, you want the unaged rum for gin for sure, and agricole might give you the best one.
The best
Yeah,
option. All right. So I like the way we've kind of collaborated that. So
yeah,
what I would say is that rum gets lumped together in ways that whiskey would never, right?
mm,
So a 12-year-old Bajan rum would be next to a 151 party rum or so. Does that frustrate you or make you feel like, oh, sure, when you speak on respect for rum,
mm,
right? Um, as an example, if you go to a regular bar or club
mm,
in the UK and you look for a rum, they're gonna have Bacardi
mm-hmm.
and the various Bacardi spiced rums,
Yeah, yeah,
and that's it. You can't. It's not easy to get. You have to go to specialist
yeah, yeah, yeah.
rum bars in the UK. Is that the same in
Oh,
Toronto?
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, 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 yeah. And I think that again comes down to the demand, right?
Yeah,
Because when people are going in these spots, they're looking for tequila. No, I think I think there is a responsibility on the bars and restaurants to kind of, and I shouldn't say it's not a responsibility on them to educate the consumers. I'm not saying that the responsibility falls on them, but I think they should do a little bit of research on the stuff that they're carrying at the very least and understand why they're carrying it. Because I've been to a lot of bars and there'll be a rum that I see on the back bar and I see it. I'm like, can I have this rum? And they have no clue what I'm talking about. I have to like literally point to it and be
yeah,
like, that one. You know what I mean? So from that perspective, I'd say, there's opportunity there. I think there's also an opportunity um, to have more rum cocktails on the menu, right?
yeah. I would think that would be the way. The start
Yeah,
would be
yeah,
cocktails and then build from there.
yeah, right. Opportunity to have more rum cocktails on a menu because when you look at the quality of the rum cocktails versus the quality of some of these other cocktails in a lot of establishments, it's night and day, right? So and then they wonder why the rum cocktails aren't selling. It's because you're not putting the same love and care that you put into this cocktail over here, right? So I think one of the things that a lot of like the people in the rum community that are on the side of it that I am, which is like trying to spread the word and thing, is that there's a rum for everybody, right? Because there's so many different countries making rum. There's so many styles of making rum, and there's so many ways in which rum shows up that whatever you like, if you drink, you'll be able to find a rum cocktail that suits it, or a sipping rum that suits it, or a mix that suits what you like. You know what I mean? But I think people get caught up in this. I'm not a rum drinker, so they don't touch it, and that is hurting the thing because of the PR problem that rum has.
All right. I'm going to pause my camera for 1 quick second because I've got a challenge for you, but I don't want you to see.
All right, all right.
I'm still here, brother. I'm still
All
here.
right, all right, all right.
You can hear me. But nah, man. Come here, the man, I talk some talk. And we're gonna
have a test you.
We're gonna test you right now.
All right. All right.
1 second, my brother. Like I said, we're still there, so
Yeah, man.
hopefully you can hear.
We're going to wait.
All right. So, as we just spoke on the PR campaign for rum,
Yeah.
I figured, and it just dawned on me, I should have prepared this earlier.
Yeah.
But we're having a good convo, and we're speaking of different rums from around the world. So I figured, as a rum connoisseur, the Overproof Papi, I'm going to ask you to rate my rums.
All right. I like that.
The rum them that I could just reach, not even the one that's in my. So this one, have you ever heard of this one?
No.
Banana
this rum with banana peel. All right. So I have a gripe. I've never had this rum, right? But I have a gripe. This is I just saw the alcohol percentage on it. It's 37.5%. For me, that sits more in a liqueur cat. Once you're under 40%, I don't really put you in the spirits cat. You're more of a liqueur, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
So if I was looking at a rum and I saw it at 37.5%, I wouldn't grab it.
No problem. So, like I said to you,
and I never. How do you like it? Banana flavor. Yeah.
All right. So let me tell you my thing. As I said, we grew up on proper rum.
Yeah.
So now I'm just experimenting and looking at various rums that and I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. Usually at Christmas time, the family come around, and I had this really exquisite rum, and everybody at Caribbean, and we all drink rum and pull out the rum, Everybody, man, you have to, like, expensive bottle of rum. Expensive bottle of rum, and give everybody a touch of rum and ice, and but I turned my back. And by the time I turned back around, everybody put Coke in the rum. I said, no.
Yeah. Yep.
I said, no.
Yeah.
No, I got again. So
no, go work.
I started to sample rum. So
all right, before you continue the test, I want to put a disclaimer out there. Yeah. I live in Toronto, right? And Toronto, the rum selection here is abysmal. We do not have, like, most of the rums that you see me talk about. I get them when I travel and I bring them back, right? So you might, I said that to say, you might put up a lot of things that I've never seen or heard of before. So just want to preface why that would be the case for the viewers.
That's the reason why I'm pulling out these ones.
Because I'm curious.
I know what you do, brother.
Man.
Online, I see it, so I'm gonna go with the ones where you might never see them. A botanical rum.
Ooh, Plant Hunter. Ooh, that looks interesting.
And the percentage is 41.
Oh, nice. Now that we're talking about. Where's it from?
I can't remember. It's distilled from Scotland.
Okay. Botanical rum. So I got a rum here that is Greek rum, and I put it in quotes because I don't think they made the rum in Greece. I think they bought the rum from somewhere else and then did it in Greece. And they've infused it with a lot of botanicals and spices and stuff like that. So that's a perfect example. That botanical rum, that would be perfect for a ginger. No, having not tried it, but the idea of the botanicals, because that's what gin is, right? It's all the botanicals and stuff. that might be perfect for a ginger. And that is what I mean by there's a rum for everybody.
You see it
Yeah.
there.
You know what I
We're
mean?
getting there. We're getting there. Now,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
one that you know. I know you
yeah.
know this
All
one.
right.
I was in the country the other day.
Hmm.
Had to bring back a
Oh
bottle.
yes, English Harbor 10. I have
Talk
had a
about it,
sip of
bro.
that
Talk
one.
about it.
Yes, so that is from Antigua.
Yes, sir.
I had a sip of that a couple of years ago. So to be honest with you, I won't be able to list out the flavor profiles and all of this, but I remember it being very smooth. Funny story is, this was before I became Overproof Papi. I was just working in the industry, and actually one of my friends, her father owns English Harbor.
Oh, so you already
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, one of my friends, her family, so shouldn't say her father, her family owns English Harbor. So yeah, I've been meaning to get a bottle because we don't have it here. But I've been meaning to get a bottle at a 10-year-old and sip. So you just remind me I need to reach out to her and be like, yo, sort that out.
So my question is this: they've got the 10 and they've got the 5 year.
Yeah,
Have you tasted the 5 year?
I tasted the 5, yeah.
Which so your preference is the 10 or
Yeah,
can't you
preference
don't
is
like
there.
it?
Yeah,
My
yeah,
preference is
preference.
the 10 as well. But
Yeah.
I was with some Antiguans
Mm.
and they could not be convinced that the 10 year was, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, a better
Yeah.
tasting,
Interesting.
experience from.
How are they drinking it over there? Are they just throwing it in Coke?
No. They were
They're
drinking
sipping
it.
it?
Yeah. So
Really?
yeah.
Okay. And you know what? That is the thing I like about not even just rum, but spirits in general. It's that everybody's taste is subjective, right? So when I do my rum tastings, what I like to do is I don't tell them what the tasting notes are,
Hmm.
right? I don't, because tasting notes is the opinion of the person that make the rum, and this is what it is. But there's so many different things. Taste is subjective, right? What might taste like something to me tastes like something different to you. But what I like to do is like give the general notes that you will find in rum, right? So because of how it's made and what it's distilled, you'll find a combination of these notes in there. You're not going to find all in every rum. You're going to find some of them in one rum, some in another. So I give them the full list and be like, this is what you can look for, and then say this one is leaning more here. Tell me what you get, and then I always love to hear what people come back with. And what I also like to do, because I do 4 rums at my rum tasting, right?
Hmm.
I always like to say, all right, who said this one is the best? Who said this one is the best? And it's never unanimous.
Good.
It's never, and I'm talking about, you have some people that are like, I hate this one. And you have
Oh,
somebody that's like, that is the best one I've ever had, right? So it's all so subjective. So it's interesting. I'd love to know what is it with the Antiguan palate that they're into the 5-year-old that much.
I really don't. I tried to ask, and I was just like, they were
Yeah,
very much like, no, man, no, you sure you taste the 5? And I was there
yeah,
with them. Drank the 5, drank the
yeah.
10. Give me another one at the 10.
Yeah, it reminds me of El Dorado as well, because
Yes.
and it's not a thing where age, because age, all it does is just add a different flavor and a little bit more complexity, and that flavor that it adds, you might not like it. You know what I mean?
That's what it is.
And the way that rum is blended, you might not like it. So for El Dorado, a lot of people, their favorite expression is the 12, even though you have the 15, and even though you have the 21. My favorite expression of what's readily available is the 12. But
Mhm.
when I put that out there, people were like, no, the 15 is better, no, the 21. So
I really like the 21.
yeah, 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 yeah. I have the 21. It's like I like it. So
Mhm.
and this is the other thing. When I'm reviewing these rums, these are all rums that I like, right?
Mhm.
So when I say I prefer this one to this, I don't think this one sucks. It's
Mhm.
just my palate
Preference.
goes more towards this one. But I think people get so angry when I'm like when I don't when I don't pick. Man, I remember I almost got excommunicated and lost my Jamaican card because I did a blind test on Eldorado 12 versus Appleton 12, right? And blind because I wanted to be fair because my favorite one, if you ask me, and even after the taste test, I will still say my favorite and is the Appleton 12, right?
Mhm.
But when I did the taste test, I preferred the taste of Eldorado 12, which is interesting. So for me, favorite is not just what tastes better, is what connects with you, is what you're culturally aligned with, what you feel represents you. All of that play into favorites, right? Taste is a component, but it's not the only component. A lot of people will like something that in their opinion tastes, it's not the best tasting version of something, right? Because of the experience they have with it or whatever the thing is. So my favorite rum is still Appleton 12, but when I did that taste test, El Dorado 12 won, and the Jamaicans did not. And
You
I've
deserve the
never seen.
backlash, bro. You deserve the backlash.
Yeah, oh yeah, but no. When it happened, when it revealed, I was like, I don't know if I should post this video, because I don't know. But yeah, what? I never see so much Guyanese flag in my life, Bridget. I never see.
So
Yeah,
we gotta speaking of that.
yeah,
Now we looked at some unusual. I've got so many unusual rums. I'm
yeah,
not gonna
yeah.
take all the time with that. But we're gonna go into the national rums now,
All right,
category really
yeah,
quick.
yeah.
National rum of this country, Grenada. This is Rivers. Have you ever
The
tasted this?
Rivers. No, I have not had Rivers. That
Rivers
is
is,
one of the,
I believe, it's 70-something%. Now
because
they got two versions, right? They got one
yeah,
version that you can take on the
yeah,
plate because they had to make a
yeah,
lower, volume, and they got another version that you can't. And I've
yeah.
tasted both of them.
Yeah, my goal is
Um,
to go to Grenada this year, so hopefully, well, if I get there, then definitely we'll be having some of that one.
go to the rum factory and they'll show you
Yeah,
how to make the process, etc.
yeah.
Now, I have some Grenadian friends,
Mm,
and I will never forget. They got this rum called 8 Ball, which is even stronger than those.
damn.
And this is my first time rolling with the Grenadian friends, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So they said to me, "Yo, we got this thing called 8 Ball." I said, "Yeah, man. I grew up on Ray and Nephew. You can't tell me nothing about rum, brother." When I drank that rum,
Yeah.
everything was hot.
Everything. Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, the Grenada is a very, very, very good rum.
yeah. Let me see what
Rivers,
exactly.
Clark's Court, etc. Really
Yeah,
great.
no Clark scored, but I have
You know
not,
Clark's
Rivers. Yeah.
This one's a national rum.
Ponchana Trinidad. Everybody, yeah, man. Yeah, man. That is one that everybody is like, yo, when I did the Ray and Nephew shot that you were talking about, everybody's like, bet you can't do that with Ponchana. And I'm like, get me a bottle and I'll do it. I'll do it on the
Brother,
yeah.
if you have any intention of coming to the UK or
Yeah.
at some point if we meet up in Jamaica,
Yeah, yeah.
we'll arrange it.
All
I'll make
right.
sure so we have the punching, we have
All
the
right.
rivers, and we have the so on and so
All
on.
right. I appreciate you.
No problem. I don't know if this is sorry, I need to say this.
Mm.
I on an annual basis go to Trinidad Carnival.
Oh, okay.
And when I go to Trinidad Carnival, I take a bottle of Ray and Nephew.
Mm.
Right? And this year I took the birthday special
Yeah.
Ray and Nephew with me. And they're afraid.
Mm.
I'm gonna say that it's gonna be controversial. I'm gonna get them commenting, but
Yeah.
we tend to drink a bottle of Ray and
And get it going. Speaking of Ray and Nephew, have you had the Ray 43?
no, not yet.
Oh, okay. 'Cause that was a UK only release, and I was like, I need it. So I know back home, I know the both Joy, the master blender, and second in command, David Morrison. And I was at his house, and he has the Ray 43. And man, I tasted it. I'm like, this is nice. Almost committed a crime, but I almost run away with that bottle. But I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be a wanted man in the country, so I chilled out.
It will happen, man. It will happen.
Yeah, yeah.
National rum of Jamaica.
Oh yes. You know what is funny? That is a Trinidadian rum, brother. That rum is made in Trinidad. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is a Trinidadian rum.
It is.
So,
But yeah, man. I mean, I don't know if you tasted the range.
Yeah, I've only had the overproof.
Okay.
Yeah, I've only had the overproof. Huh?
How did you feel about the overproof?
Like it was all right, but growing up on Ray and Nephew, it didn't have the punch that I needed it to have. It was like a little sweeter than Ray and Nephew, I found actually. Yeah.
We did an event. We well, I don't know, you probably know we do events as well across the world, etc. And we had an event in a city called Bristol over here. And it has a great Caribbean connection or Jamaican connection as well. Slavery, yes, but also rum and pirates, etc. with Bristol. But anyway, we had the event, and to open up the event, most of our events, we start off with a libation, a little blessing, whatever, and I had a bottle of the Overproof.
Yeah.
And shared it out, etc., etc. By the end of the night, one of the brothers that was DJing said, yo, I'm finished. Overproof, he did a video, the overproof, finish him. So I
Damn.
said, all right, all right. But yeah, man, the rum, it's good. It's
Yeah.
good. It's not Ray.
Yeah.
It's not JB.
No.
So
No.
it's
Have you had the Wordy Park overproof?
yes,
I
yes.
like that one. I
I
really
quite
like
like
that
it.
one.
I
I
quite like
really
it.
like that one. Yeah.
I feel like Worthy Park at the moment is
Mm.
really started to step into their own, as in the
Yes.
Worthy Park brand of rum.
Yeah. And you can see that they're showing up. They're, you know what I
Yes,
mean? You can see that they're like they're hungry. They're hungry
yes.
right now, and I like to see it, man, because they're everywhere. They're getting involved in the party scene down there. They
Hmm.
are, they're out at all of the festivals and all of this. They're coming up with some really good rum. So I like what they're doing, man. I really like what they're doing down there.
I think what you said is that's so important as well. You said they are hungry and they're showing it. I
Hmm.
feel like, rightly or wrongly, I feel like they're saying to me,
Yeah.
and agree or disagree, they're saying,
Mm.
hold on, nobody now saying nothing with chess.
Yeah.
Because Ray and Nephew's kind of comfortable with where they are.
Oh, absolutely.
And so JB, everybody's comfortable in their
Hmm.
position, and Ray just seems sorry, Worthy Part just seem to be saying, all right, well,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
right, and
Welcome.
that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm
Yeah,
seeing.
yeah. You have a lot of Wordy Park expressions in the UK?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
So it's only when I go back. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of seeing it, but I go
Mm.
back regular enough to
Yeah. For see what's going on there.
So my question to you is,
Mm.
thank you for rating my run, by the way. You
Yeah,
should have
yeah, yeah.
given numbers and so on.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I feel like we can do this again another
Oh,
time.
absolutely.
And I make sure
Absolutely.
that you have the rum and I have the rum and
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
them kind of things. We gotta keep the link.
All right.
Who are you trying to bring into rum that isn't already here? So who are you trying to reach now?
Oh, right now I'm trying to reach. So what I'm trying to do is there are two people that I'm trying to reach. Trying to reach the people who drink rum, but are not, but are not drinking the premium rum. And by premium, I don't mean expensive. I mean they're drinking Malibu, they're drinking Captain Morgan, and they're drinking Bacardi, right? And nothing wrong with that. Drink those if you like it, but understand that there is more to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is the first person, the person that already likes rum, but no, we want to take them to the next level, right? So that is the first person. The
Mm-hmm.
second person that I want to reach is the person who is like, I do not like rum because
Okay.
because I don't believe you. I don't believe that you don't like rum because you can't just not like a category. I think you can say you don't like gin, and the reason I say that is gin has a very specific taste, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very specific. If you don't like juniper, you're not going to like gin, and that's just what it is, right? And that is fine. But rum has such a diverse realm of taste, right? You have, as I was talking about, you have the French style of doing it, which is a completely different taste from the Spanish Caribbean, which is a different taste from the English speaking Caribbean. Then you have all of these guys doing these Frankenstein experiments with the botanical rums you know what I mean?
Let me find it now.
Yeah,
Banana.
right. Yeah, right. You have these guys doing all of these things out there. So there is a rum that you will like.
Mm-hmm.
There is a rum. So, and you don't have to search hard to find it either, right? So those are the two people. Those are who I'm focused on. The people who are like, I don't like rum, and I'm like, I don't believe you. And then the people who are already drinking rum, but we want to get them to the next level. I'm not so much concerned about like the rum geeks and who know it because they probably even know more than me, to be honest with you.
Preaching to the
Because
converted. You don't want to preach.
right. They've been in this longer than I have. They are, you know what I mean? They have collections way bigger than mine. So they're good. They're already good. I'm trying to bring people into the category and move people who are on that first step to the second step.
Excellent.
Mhm.
And so my other question to that, my follow up to that is, um, for you personally, let's get a little bit personal.
Yeah, man.
Outside of, I'm assuming, and I shouldn't assume,
Yeah.
that Ray and Nephew was probably the first rum that you started
Yeah.
drinking when
You know
from
what?
young.
No, I know. It was Appleton Special.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Appleton because my house, so the funny thing is that my family is growing up very Christian family,
Me
very
too.
very Christian. There's no rum in the house really. Like
Oh,
maybe had a little bottle of wine. But that wine would be there for years. You know what I mean? And yeah, so in my house, I don't think I had rum until I started going to parties,
Okay.
right? And that was apple. But I've drank before because the wine and stuff. And then this is going to sound terrible. But when you remember, when I was a youth, that was when and just I think like early teens. That was when Smirnoff Ice was running Jamaica, right?
Oh,
And that was like that's what you would drink as a youth just getting into drinking. You know what I mean? You drink Smirnoff Ice, you drink Smirnoff Black Ice, like these things, and then so that is what I was drinking, and
mhm.
then got to Appleton Special, which is we're drinking Appleton and Pepsi now. So that's what I've been drinking, like I'd say from like 16 onwards. Before that we used to sneak out when we were younger than we can say on this
Yeah.
on the public here. We've been like sneaking liquor sips a mummy wine and mummy whatever other liquor. I don't remember what she had. I think she had a bottle of Gardens gin, and I don't know why. There was a bottle of Gardens gin I will never forget that. There's a bottle of Gardens gin in the house. So I used to thief a little bit of that. So actually, gin might be the first thing that I tried if I'm thinking
Wow.
about it right now. Yeah.
Being completely transparent.
Yeah.
So in my house, same like you,
Mm.
Christian household, we had there was rum, there
Yeah.
was Rare Nephew,
Mm.
and then there was, if I'm remembering correctly, there was the Gardens gin. I don't
Mm.
know why in Jamaican
Yeah, I
households.
don't know.
Tia Maria. I don't know if you
Yes,
had that.
there was Tia Maria as well. There was a little bit of Tia Maria as
Tia,
well.
Tia Maria, gin, Stone's ginger wine,
Yeah,
and the Ray. I
yeah,
can't remember
yeah,
anything else, but those
yeah,
were and the little, you know what I mean, in
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
cabinet, as it were.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Just when your teeth, you know.
The break front.
So with those drinks being the gin, etc., being the first drinks
Mm.
that you had, what was the first rum that made you really want to take this thing seriously? Because you actually
Yeah,
became a professional with it, right?
yeah, yeah,
So what made you really say, I'm going to take this serious? Which drink made
yeah.
you?
So for the longest while, I was drinking what I would call at level one, right?
Mhm.
So this was majority of my 20s, I would say as well. So this would be I would be doing, drinking Appleton. So I started out with Appleton Special, right? And then after a while, I'm like, that's not going to do it. Then we did move up to VX. At the time, it was VX. All right. So when I moved to Canada in my early 20s, right? So when I moved to Canada in my early 20s, it was VX that I was drinking mostly. But that wasn't like I wasn't like, oh yeah, rum alone. I didn't see myself as a rum guy, but that's what I was picking up, right?
Mhm.
Because that we're used to. So buying a bottle, we buy a bottle of VX, and then when we go out, we might get like actually might get a Jack and Ginger or what I mean, something like that. And then after a while, I moved up from VX to at that time it was Reserve, which is now Appleton 8,
Mhm.
right? And that's where I started like drinking a little better now, and I'm like, okay, but still wasn't like locked in the way I was locked in now. And it wasn't until I started working at Diageo,
Okay.
right? So I
Big
was working,
Diageo.
yeah, yeah. So I was working for Diageo, and I had Zacapa,
Okay.
right? So Zacapa is under the Diageo brand.
Hmm.
And when I was drinking, so before that, of course, I'd had Appleton 12, and that was what I was drinking or whatever. But now I have another one. So it was Appleton 12, and it was Zacapa. And at that time, believe it or not, Captain Morgan had a rum called Private Stock. I don't know if you
Oh,
know. Yeah. So Captain, it's supposed to be their elevated version.
okay.
Um, and I really like that one. That was and I'm talking about this is like 2018, so it's not that long ago.
Hmm.
Where I was like Private Stock, Zacapa, and Appleton 12 are like my three favorite rums. And
Okay.
at that time, I haven't had a white bread of rums to choose from, right? But that's what I talk about the journey, right? Because your palate is like wine, right? When people starting out with wine, the first thing they start out with is a very sweet wine like Moscato, right? They're drinking Moscato and they love Moscato and they're drinking this. And then after a while, they're like, okay, move up to white wine. some day maybe they'll do a little white wine and then they go through the white wine and they're like, oh no, we like the drier wines. And then after a while they move over to the red. And then now they start to, so I find it's the same thing with rum. You're coming in at the sweet level. Right? You're coming in at the Captain Morgan, the Bamboo at this stage. Some of those rums you're coming in. And then after a while, your palate kind of evolving, like, okay, let me see what else is there. And then, you might get up to like the Zacapas and the stuff like that. Still a little bit sweeter, but okay. And then as you start to have more, you start to be able to appreciate the less sweet ones because you're now able to pick out the flavors. So move from Zacapa. And then really when I was like, okay, let me start to expand my thing was when I started working at Campari.
Okay.
Right. So I worked for Campari, and so Appleton of course is one of the Campari, and that's when I like was drinking all the Appletons, right? 8, 12, 15, 21, and then got into Diplomatico, got into some of these other ones, started drinking more El Dorado, started just because now I'm doing market research, right? And I'm like, oh yo, there's a whole thing out there. And so that was, I'd say that was about 4 or 5 years ago that I
Okay.
really started to dive in. And then in that amount of years, like I've moved from like somebody who likes and drinks it to now I'm starting a collection. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And the collection is, it's not where it should be because we just don't have the access to the rums that we need out here. So it really depends on how often I travel or if I know somebody that is traveling, I ask them to bring back something for me. But yeah, whenever anything comes out in LCBO that is that we don't have, I try to get it. But right now, I'd say that the strongest rums in my collection, um, like in terms of amount I have from a brand, is definitely Appleton because I used to work for them, so I have pretty much I have all of their regular releases and then I have a couple special releases. But yeah, so that's kind of how that journey started, right? It just as I explained, it's like started out very sweet, then now it's starting to gradually, and then now I'm discovering all this whole world. I'd say the French agricole rums that I'm telling you about, I just started to discover those probably 3 years ago, maybe. And I
Okay.
was like, yo, there's a whole world
Yep.
of just that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Bourbon Court from Haiti, it's not agricole, but it's the French style. That has made it into my like top rum brands. So
I need to
yeah,
taste that. I
yeah,
don't even
man.
know how you got your hands on a Haitian rum.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the thing. Yeah, you just have to be like, who's coming from where, and can I get it? Yeah,
Yeah, for real.
yeah.
For me, the journey or the story is a little bit different. Cause we
Mm,
tour, we still tour, but we touring all across the world. So you go to a
mm,
place like Australia, cause Australia
yeah,
have their own rum as
yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah. But
and
Bundaberg is their own.
Bundaberg,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And for me, wherever I go in the world, the first thing, do you want to drink or whatever? Yes, I do. Rum. What rum
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
have? And then we go down the line of local rum. So even in
Mm,
places like Japan, they've got Japanese rums, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
kind of trying these rums across the world is, and quite frequently you come across one where you're like, I like this. I
Mm,
like this one. I got to take this back.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, man, it's definitely, you never stop learning. You never
We-
stop finding out, discovering, etc.
Exactly.
And speaking of discovering, um, what's on the next moves for you? 'Cause I know you're building the community.
Yeah, yeah,
And I know, like we mentioned earlier, you got the rum tasting events, you've
yeah.
got the posts that you're doing online and so on. What else is next for the Overproof Papi and the whole movement there in Canada?
Yeah, so the next thing that I'm working on is actually starting a rum club. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That for me is something that I want to get involved with. Have a rum club where I'm now. Sorry, I'm trying to charge my laptop here. Where is it? Yeah. Yeah. So the next step for me is definitely I want to start a rum club. So the goal there is to continue to build the rum community, but no, it's not just different people every time at my events. Right now we have a group, of actual community that is growing, coming together each time to talk about rums, and bring more people in and kind of have that, right? So that is the short term goal, is to start that rum club and do stuff, right? I'd love to. Once the rum club is established and we have a good amount of members, once start like planning trips to distilleries and like stuff like that. So that is the short term to mid goal. Of course, I want to also do bigger events. So I want to start doing bigger, not bigger tastings, because I like the small intimate tastings. Right now, my tastings I do about 50 people, and I think that's the nice sweet spot where it's just like it doesn't get
And it's
too.
cozy enough for everybody to talk to each
Yeah,
other.
exactly. And it still feels intimate, right? But I want to do something on a larger scale, not necessarily a rum festival, but something, celebrating rum in a bigger way. So those would be the next two things. And then my really long-term goal, and if any investors out there are listening, I would love to, my dream would be to have my own rum brand.
See there? See there, 100%.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
same, well, a similar thing,
Mm.
well, we'll talk. We can talk offline.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah, yeah.
if there's any investors that are interested,
Yeah.
where can they find you?
So one, you can reach out to me. Take a look at what I'm doing on Instagram, Overproof Papi. And then my email is overproofpapi@gmail.com. So on my website, overproofpapi.com. Everything is Overproof Papi. So that is where I can be found. And yeah, if anybody interested in starting a rum brand and need any advice on what to do, what kind of rums are hitting, what the people want here in Canada, definitely happy to connect on that.
Fantastic. So, Overproof Papi, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
I think it was a very great conversation
Yeah, no, I
and,
appreciate this, man.
educational for the people them as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But we definitely have to do some collab tasting
Yeah,
type scenarios.
yeah, man.
And we're gonna figure a way to make this happen, because this
Yeah,
can
yeah,
happen.
yeah.
This can happen. But yeah, thank you so much for your time, and
Yeah, no, I appreciate this.
really
This
appreciate
was
it, brother.
this was a good chat.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
gonna stop the recording now.